Hi, I'm the Dreaded Geek. Welcome back. Today we're going to do another unboxing. This time one I'm quite excited by. This game came out on Kickstarter quite a while back. I, at the time, didn't have the budget to pledge for it. I got interested in it again recently and got very lucky. I contacted the manufacturer, distributor, just at a time when they were selling off some pledges from Kickstarter that people hadn't paid for or had decided not to keep once the game was produced. So I've managed to get myself a Kickstarter exclusive copy, even though I wasn't able to pledge at the time the Kickstarter came out. I've heard good things and bad things about the game, but most importantly I've heard that all the criticism that's been leveled at the game has already been addressed by the game designers in kind of patches for the game that have been released, rules updates, etc. So besides the excitement of it being, from what I've heard, quite a good game, it is having an amazing level of support from the game designers and the distributor. What game am I talking about? We're about to unbox Myth, the board game. So this was the first of 2 shipments that I'm going to receive for Myth. This is the basic game, a couple of the Kickstarter exclusive upgrades, but not the Kickstarter exclusive content. That will be shipped later. They did, however, include the Story Quests add-on in this package, as well as the card sleeves for not only the initial 6 characters that come in the base game, but also the 2 add-on characters that were available as add-ons through Kickstarter. So I have the sleeves for their decks, although I don't have the cards or miniatures for those characters yet. So the card sleeves, the Story Quest rulebook, and these were just loose in the packing box that I received. Let's have a look at what's in here before I open the main game box. The first of the little baggies that came with my game was this metal miniature. I didn't pay for the upgrade to get all my miniatures as metal rather than plastic, and looking at the quality of this one, I'm actually kind of glad I didn't. There's a lot of flash on this miniature, which is something you pretty much exclusively get with metal miniatures. It's fixable, it just needs a little bit of trimming before a paint job, but I'm not a big fan of metal miniatures usually. They aren't as detailed, and although they have a nice feel to them, they sometimes just aren't as well made, like this one. Oh, that's how that goes on. That can't be right. There we go. So there's my first miniature being held together right now. I'm not sure why this one is metal or why it was on the outside of the main box, but there it is. Kickstarter purchases of this game also got their coin tokens upgraded from plastic to metal, and these are really nice. There seem very few of those for use in a multiplayer game, but hey. I haven't played the game or even read the rules yet, so I can't really say that it's too few. And then these are the little character cards that slot into the playboards. And these were also upgraded to metal for Kickstarter purchases. The other really nice thing that Myth decided to do when the Kickstarter backers asked was to make these two-sided with a female character on one side, a male character on the other. They've also provided miniatures for both genders. The exception to that, is this one? Yes, it is. The exception to that is the Spriggan, who is a non-human character of indeterminate gender anyway. The Scald, male and female. The Soldier. The Brigand. That's interesting. It looks like the... I can't even tell which gender is which, but it looks like that gender of Brigand isn't human either. They've made him or her into a rat person. The Acolyte. The Trickster. And finally the Archer, who I believe was the only character in the game that was female before this was introduced. It feels really nice having these little metal plaques depicting your class. I'm very glad I had that last minute chance to become a Kickstarter-ish backer. So let's get into the main box. I really love this game box for starters. Typical fantasy art, but then with these glossy areas on the box itself making aspects of the art pop. It's really cool. Game rules. Wow. Okay. Part of this book is story quests, scenarios. But we're still looking at about 40 pages of rules here. This is going to be one to explore later. Tokens. They seem pretty well punched out. They're falling out of the sheets already. And here's an example of the cardboard class plates that have been replaced by the metal ones. Kind of like the coloured versions as well that are on the cardboard. So maybe there's a place for both. So 1 sheet of tokens, 2 sheets of tokens, 3 sheets of tokens, 4, and some of these have fallen out already, it appears. And there they are, down the side. that one's quite badly damaged. It'll play. So these are the two-sided map boards that are used to set out the various locations for the gameplay. And status trackers for the general game state as well as for each player. Some smaller parts to the maps. Quite the bag of dice. Yep, those are standard D10s and custom D6s. Man overboard. It was a 10, really it was. Deck of what I assume is item cards, action cards, more cards, some of the tokens that fell out of my sheets. I like this box insert as well. It doesn't waste space by having high portions and low portions. It just neatly separates the box into two halves without making me dig under it for some of my game components. And let's get into the miniatures. That's what I'm talking about. Look at the amount of detail on these plastic miniatures. A much cleaner sculpt. Looks like a miniature version of the one I just showed you. Various sculpts for centipedes and various troll orc looking things. I'm guessing this one is a big bus troll orc looking thing. More mini centipedes. Those are definitely orcs. Pirate orcs, I think. Undead warrior type mini boss. A scorpion. those. Another scorpion. And finally, the heroes. There only seems to be one gender of each hero here. I assume the alternate gender miniatures will come with the second shipment of things. So that's the ratty brigand, a blind warrior whose hammer has gotten a little bit bent in transit, but that's no big deal. The archer, who indeed is the only female to come in the original set. And the other warrior type. That's it. That's what comes in the box for the initial shipment of Myth. As with all my unboxing videos, I aim to get a gameplay in the next week or so, and then hopefully get a review video up shortly. I'm intrigued to see how well this plays. The rulebook is daunting even to me, and I am a lover of big epic games, so the game's going to have to be pretty good to justify such a big rulebook. We'll see what it has to offer, and watch this space for a review coming soon. This has been an unboxing of the Myth board game.
And I am the Dreaded Geek. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm the Dreaded Geek. Welcome back. Today we're going to do another unboxing. This time one I'm quite excited by.